some young'uns, they promise to be the same. That's what the big game's all about. It happens every year. We lose a few of our heroes, but find others who know no fear. We see them give it all they know. We see them give it their best shot. It's whether I'm known or famous, you gotta give it all you got. That season was a good one. We saw a big man walking tall. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
Good afternoon and welcome to Norton Park Widnes for this first round of Premiership match with Halifax. Well, it's a beautiful afternoon, as you can see here, one of the nicest afternoons we've had perhaps of the whole season. And it's a kind of day when I would say any team that can't play rugby league on a day like this, well, very simply, they can't play rugby. But before the game starts, we have, the Stones representative, the Stones Bitter representative, has a very pleasant task to perform. He has to officially present the Championship Cup to the Widnes captain Kurt Sorensen. They won it, of course, at Hunslet a fortnight ago, and were presented with it then. But this is the presentation on the home ground to the resounding support of all the crowd here, and I must say that includes the Halifax supporters as well, who are giving them a tremendous round of applause. They've been the most consistent side of the season. They had a little bit of a dodgy time, particularly when they met Wigan in the two league matches around February or March, and one of the defeats against St Helens at Knowsley Road. But they picked themselves up, and they have really dominated the league scene for virtually the whole of the season. And although this may be the most glamorous of cups to win in the rugby league world, perhaps overshadowed by the glamour of Wembley, it's certainly the one that I suppose in retrospect the players would most dearly love to win, because it's a case of consistency right throughout the season. You've got to beat many more teams than beat you. You've got to keep your effort going right throughout the season to be able to lift this trophy at the end of that season. And remember, they lifted this trophy at Hunslet a fortnight ago, when the challengers up to then, particularly Wigan and St Helens, had still one more match to play. And now the players, most of whom, practically all of whom, have taken part in these matches during the season, have earned this cup for the Widnes club and the supporters, are quite rightly taking the plaudits of the supporters as they do a lap of honour before this game starts. And as they move behind the posts away to our left, in order to one of the people carrying the trophy is Martin O'Fire, who has been such a sensation in the rugby league world and has lifted the Widnes side by his pace and try-scoring efforts, having scored 41 tries to date for the club, 43 the season in all, with another possible 2 or 3 games to go. So here they come below us, and all this crowd, most of them Widnesians of course on the popular side, who've come along today not only to cheer the side on to a possible victory over Halifax, but to give them the support in this lap of honour that they're doing round the pitch as they show the trophy they've won to their fans. And I think quite rightly and quite respectfully, the Halifax team keeping well in the background while this lap of honour is going on, taking nothing from the side that have finished at top of the league. And now I've no doubt we come to the photo call. Oh, it isn't. Well, Widnes, of course, concentrating now on the Premiership. They've got this Championship trophy on the sideboard. Now they've nothing else to go for except the Premiership, a home game today, if they should win, they have a home game again a fortnight today, and should they win that, then of course they are at Old Trafford for the final on May the 15th. Well, they've got to make one change from the side that was originally selected in the programme. Barry Dowd is unfit at number 6, and he's replaced by David Marsh. So the Widnes side reads number 1 Duncan Platt, number 2 Rick Thackeray, number 3 Andy Correa, number 4 Darren Wright, number 5 Martin O'Fire, number 6 David Marsh, number 7 David Hume, number 8 Kurt Sorensen, number 9 Phil McKenzie, number 10 Steve O'Neill, number 11 Mike O'Neill, number 12 Paul Hume, and number 13 Richard Ayres. And the substitutes, the lad signed from the Scottish Rugby Union International, recently signed Alan Tate, and number 15 Joe Greeman. Well, Halifax, what are they going to do today? Are they going to go flat out? Are they playing for the Wembley places, or are they going to just go through the motions and hope to get through unscathed and be prepared for Wembley next week against Wigan? Well, of course, you can get injured by playing half-hearted stuff just as much as you can by giving 100% effort, and I think the paying spectators are entitled to see the best. Let's hope that they have come out to earn the Wembley place and to do as much as they can to upset this Widnes side and perhaps cause what really would be a surprise, because remember, it's consistency over the season that's won Widnes their championship, and in the championship race Halifax have lost more matches than they have won. And the Halifax side, again, just one change from the side that was selected in the programme. Steve Smith, who was selected at fullback, is replaced by Colin Whitfield, who moves from number 2, and he in turn is replaced at number 2 by Mick Taylor. Then we have number 3 Tony Anderson, number 4 Ian Wilkinson, number 5 Martin Meredith, number 6 Bob Grogan, number 7 Steve Robinson, number 8 Dick Fairbank, number 9 Seamus McCallion, number 10 Keith Neller, number 11 Les Holiday, number 12 Paul Dixon, number 13 John Pendlebury, and the substitutes number 14 Graham Beavers and number 15 Neil James. The referee, Mr. John Holdsworth of Leeds. Well, as I say, the ground is certainly very firm. The day is absolutely ideal. There is a slight breeze blowing from left to right. The sun, of course, shining mostly from right to left. It's pretty high in the sky, and perhaps high up and unders could cause some problems to Halifax in the first half and possibly to Widnes in the second, but I don't think it really will cause all those problems. Should it do so, of course, Widnes in recent matches have been rather suspect on these up and unders. They've given several tries away, and I've no doubt they've been working on it as a result. So Mr. Holdsworth checks with his touch edges, checks with the Halifax side, checks his own watch, and away we go. So it's Richard Ayres takes the ball on first, and Halifax, of course, a very strong tackling side, moving up very quickly there. Notice Seamus McCallion going very quickly indeed for the player to receive the first pass, and again it was on there. It's, I think, an Australian tactic, and of course it can be disconcerting to the side concerned. This time Mr. Holdsworth picks them up for moving up too quickly. And that, of course, is one of the dangers. If you want to get up into a side to stop them attacking, you want to get up very quickly indeed, you've got to take every inch you can and risk being caught offside. So it's Widnes still inside their own half. McKenzie on to Sorensen. Sorensen takes on the weight of the Widnes pack, of the Halifax pack. And again, Halifax being penalised for this ruse, and it could well be, if Mr. Holdsworth stops them doing that right from the start, as it looks as though he intends doing, then Halifax are going to have to readjust their defensive tactics. Now Widnes on the attack, puts it in, across it comes. This time it's Steve O'Neill, flicks it back there onto McKenzie. McKenzie looking for the gap, half knocked back, several players touched that. I think it will be all on, but the referee said no. It was Widnes who knocked the ball forward, and although Halifax touched it, I think he ruled that it wasn't done deliberately, so also ruling that Widnes can't have any advantage from that. So it's Steve Robinson to feed the scrum out quickly to Halifax, just across to Whitfield, who moved up from fullback. Widnes, Whitfield not having far to go to play this game. He's a Widnes lad himself, of course. In comes Paul Dixon. Well, this lad shouldn't be holding anything back for next week, because I think he's also playing for a possible tour place. Halliday there, who's been signed from Swinton and the ball distributor, trying to get Keith Neller away. McCallion is acting halfback. Flick down this way, Robinson, out it goes. It's a hard ball to Whitfield, almost through. And it was Darren Wright that just held onto his sleeve there to stop him in full flight. John Pendlebury, a tight little kick, but a fire back to collect it, and now the shout comes up, but a fire's got a sea of blue and white shirts waiting for him. Turns away from them, tries to go across field. Wasn't really expected to get anywhere. Mackenzie now is acting halfback, David Hume, and there's another tight little kick behind the Halifax defence, and Martin Meredith has to go back very quickly to pick it up. In fact, it isn't. It's Mick Taylor who's surely gone on to the left wing. Halifax have switched their wingman. David Hume up this way. Widnes switch. It goes wrong. That must be offside. Yes, Richard Ayres ruled to be an offside. And it is Meredith at number 2 for Halifax and Mick Taylor at number 5. They have switched wings, and that is the opposite formation from which we were officially given, really. However, back to the game. Halifax on the halfway line. And it was Mick Taylor being used there to take some of the weight into the Widnes half. Oh no, something went adrift there. Halifax certainly weren't ready for that. The back flip there to Tony Anderson. Gets it away to Keith Neller. Halifax doing very well across there, moving the ball eventually to Ian Wilkinson. Wilkinson coming through, and speed and power beating man after man. Very good run indeed by Wilkinson there. And there the support. Halifax get this ball out very quickly. A kick to the line, but I don't think they're going to have the finishing pace. It is covered by Thackeray of all people, coming across from the right wing. But it wasn't Thackeray. It looked like Thackeray from this camera point of view. In fact, it was Paul Hume. And so that could well be a warning to Widnes that whatever hopes they may have had of coasting through this game, up to now Halifax are going to take what they can get as Whitfield strides in. That was a very, very fair tattle by Sorensen, although it looked a bit high, certainly very fair. And there was Dick Fairbank bursting his way through. Well, they're certainly giving their supporters a lot of hope in these opening few minutes. Now Halifax to move around a switch there onto, there's a bouncing out of a tattle there. This time it's Mike O'Neill, and he doesn't miss them very often, so Paul Dixon must have been having some effect on him. So Halifax certainly giving Widnes something to think about as Bob Grogan tries to go on his own, and the Widnes defence in these opening minutes looking distinctly vulnerable. Still Halifax move it out. In midfield they looked all disorganised, but since that second or two of disorganisation, they've certainly looked very well organised indeed. So last tackle coming up. Are they going to be front? Oh, there's another lack of organisation, and it could be relief for Widnes, but it's a kick through, and can Widnes make this something of this? No. Andy Currier facing 3 Widnes tattlers, and on comes Mr. Lloyd, the touch judge. He's seen something untoward there, and I can only presume it's one of the Halifax players that's going to be brought out. It is in fact Ian Wilkinson it was that was accused, I suspect, of perhaps putting an elbow in there. So these opening few minutes certainly belonging to Halifax, but it is still only the opening few minutes. So it's Steve O'Neill. Again, one or two fisticuffs going on. This match could boil up the wrong way. It could well be out. Halifax is going to try and upset them, but certainly Widnes playing rugby and good handling there. Halifax had to be on the toes, certainly there to hold that Widnes attack. Now it's Mike O'Neill. It has a habit of stepping out of tackles, and noticeably Martin Meredith there was watching O'Fire, and there's a kick to the line. Can O'Fire get this? Oh, it just bounced away from him. Well, Martin Meredith in the outset of that was certainly not going to let Martin O'Fire have a clear run. He looked to me to be obstructing him in play, but Mike O'Neill made the best of it and found Phil McKenzie up in support. And McKenzie, I think, did a sensible thing, putting a kick to the line for O'Fire to chase. And unfortunately for Widnes, it just bounced away from him. But those are the tactics Widnes are going to have to overcome. Back to Halifax, a long ball out there from Les Holiday. And that was a good run by Dixon. I think they got him nowhere, ran an awful long way just to get nowhere at all. In comes John Pendlebury. Pity John Pendlebury's physical prowess is not as good as his football brain, because he's certainly a very good player indeed. But here's Duncan Platt, dangerously letting it bounce. Thank goodness for Widnes that O'Fire was there to take it, because I thought Duncan Platt was taking far too much of a risk there. And if O'Fire hadn't been with him, it could have got him into trouble. But however, it's Widnes moving out of. Sorensen trying to step through tackle. That pass looked like a yard forward, but the referee didn't agree, so it's still Widnes. Ball still loose. Mike O'Neill picking it up. And Halifax at the moment trying to get among this Widnes attack to stop them really moving cohesively. But they've got to watch this. McKenzie has gone again, shaping the kick. He hadn't got the speed outside him on the right wing that he would have had on the left, so he held on. Now can Widnes move the ball across. It's Paul Hume looking for the support. Sorensen powering for the line to Andy Courier, but this time the referee does bring him back. And there is one of the dangers on this Widnes ground. The youngsters behind the post were ready to meet Andy Courier there as he went over the line to score, and it's so dangerous. Some player or young supporter or more than one is going to get hurt, and then there'll be an outcry. However, escape for Halifax. Widnes win that one against the head, going right. It's on to Duncan Platt, but Whitfield just held him by the shirt neck there. Still Widnes moved the ball across. There 4 tackles to go. Steve O'Neill driving in. And can Widnes make this attack pay off? Had it come this way, they ran around there, they watched for it. It's eventually picked up by Darren Wright, and Halifax will push Widnes back, but they may be better off a little further from the line. They may have that little more breathing space. They're still coming left toward the fire wing. Turned inside to Mike O'Neill, stepping out of another tackle. And there's the first try to Richard Ayres. Very good close play indeed by Widnes there. And I still think that part of the reason that Widnes scored that try was this threat from Martin O'Fire on the left wing. The ball, in fact, never went anywhere near him, but play was moving that way. And there's always that threat. And this lad, Mike O'Neill, has the habit and ability to step out of tackles. Goodness knows how he manages to do it so often when other players can't. But having done that, found Richard Ayres in support. And it was Ayres who went under the post to give Duncan Platt an easy conversion. And so, with about 11 minutes of this game gone, it's Widnes 6, Halifax 0. So John Pendlebury restarts. Courier picks it up. The Halifax defence ready for him. And the scramble for it over there. I think John Holt was going to have to sort out whose ball it is. And surely he must order a scrum. And there he penalises Steve O'Neill for dissent. Advantage. So can Colin Whitfield reduce this deficit? Well, there he goes. It's a good effort. It's high. It looks good. The flags go up. So the 6 points lead that Widnes got just a minute or so ago is very quickly being reduced to 4 as Whitfield makes that conversion. Widnes 6, Halifax 2. And there with a quick kick-off, have Widnes caught Halifax on the hop? Not really. The ball didn't go far enough. So it's John Penderby to try and run it out. Because just as far as he can, let his team get organised behind him. There was Tony Anderson trying to gain some ground, made a good ground there. Keith Neller. Very much of a handful, we should never have let that ball go. He couldn't get any impetus behind it, and he'd no real idea where it was going. Richard Ayres accepted it very gratefully. So Widnes moved the ball out across again, and in comes Wilkinson. He read that very well, and he took Duncan Platt, I think it was, as soon as he came into the line. Took Sorensen, in fact, a lone ball out there to Rick Thackeray. Quick play of the ball. Steve O'Neill. Very, very solid tackle there indeed. Dick Fairbank hit him with a very solid tackle there. Mackenzie. Across this line. Can they get the ball across? Quick passing indeed. Very good ball indeed to Richard Ayres. He's turning inside again away from the fire wing. But I think he had to. They were getting outnumbered, and Halifax were on the toes on the Widnes left wing, standing on the Widnes toes. Widnes moved the ball across again now, and there is helping under. Whitfield shall have lots of time to take that, and taking it over his own line, he's entitled to bring it back to the 25 line for a tap. Widnes have often used situations against them like that to get away with a quick tap in the 25 and take the opposition by surprise, but Halifax are obviously in no mood for that. And here comes Mick Taylor, selected on the right wing, playing on the left and then being brought in midfield. Holiday, short ball there, very good break indeed to his second row colleague Dixon. Holiday again, he was selected for his ball distribution. They weren't there quick enough for him. He's always looking to switch the ball. Now it's Bob Grogan. Short ball out there to Anderson. Anderson scooting away up the left. He's got the support inside, turns it inside, but he was taken into touch before he turned the ball inside. And that was very good football again from Halifax there that split the Widnes defence. This lad Tony Anderson from Eastern Suburbs Club in Australia is a bit pacey if he can get him away like that. Certainly causing danger. Straight in, straight out. And it's on there to young David Marsh. Now it's Mike O'Neill. Mackenzie. Shea with a kick then. Looking to get halfway through a gap. We never quite know what this lad Mackenzie's going to do. Turn back to Duncan Platt. Here comes the kick. It looks a good one. It is in fact a good one. It's driven Halifax back to 10 yards outside their own 25. Notice that Mr. Holdsworth shouting on your 10, and then allows them to strum down on the 15, not the 10. Ball's in. Widnes won it against the head again. Coming wild. David Hume going on his own. Can he get through? He want to turn the ball inside. He's got dummy on his own. Does he get there? Yes, the touch yet keeps his flag down. And it's David Hume who's in for the Widnes' second try. And again, it was a threat from this lot of fire that Halifax had to watch. A very good move indeed on the part of David Hume. They won the ball against the head, so we must credit Phil Mackenzie with that in the first place. And having got the ball out very quickly, then David Hume came round the blind side. O'Fire sensibly went on his inside, which rather took some of the Halifax defence with him. David Hume continued on his own and still wanted to turn the ball inside to a fire, but seeing that he was going to be covered anyway, just looked at him once, half showed the ball to him, went for the corner himself and managed to get the ball down before his feet were out of play. So Widnes looking good. 19 minutes of the game gone, and the attempted conversion from Duncan Platt certainly nowhere near the post. But 19 minutes gone and Widnes in the lead by 10 points to 2. So again it's John Pendlebury to restart. One wonders how often he'll have to restart during this game. Well, there was no fancy business about that. Rick Thackeray took it just as far as he could, and I wondered whether Dick Fairbank needed to win in that second tackle at all. Nothing vicious about it. Here's Mackenzie again. What a good player this lad is. Well, Duncan Platt was a little bit harassed. He couldn't really direct his kick where he wanted it to go then. But certainly he got the kick in, which is what Widnes wanted, to drive Halifax back. A quick play of the ball by Mick Taylor. This lad always puts an awful lot of effort into his play. Back it goes, and Halifax said, well, we can play out that game. Let's drive Widnes right back. So Duncan Platt driven right back to his own line. And the Halifax defenders all waiting for him. Martin O'Fire, little kick through, little too far I think. Colin Whitfield takes it, but a very good tackle indeed by Martin O'Fire. So many of Martin O'Fire's critics have said he can't tackle. Well, maybe he's heard those remarks as well, and perhaps he was just showing people there that he can tackle. And if he has any deficiencies, remember this is only his first season in the game. David Hume feeding the scrum. It's coming out to Widnes. It's rather slow. They're coming this way. Duncan Platt, you're going to try make a half break. Back there to Richard Edge, always in support. Want to get the ball. He's got his colleague. Can he get the ball to slip it there to Darren Wright? But the referee right on the spot to it forward. I mean, right in front of our cameras, I think I would agree. Steve Robinson to feed. The back swings. It's out to Halifax. John Pendlebury. Paul Dixon. And of course Holiday missing a man out onto Keith Neller. Now it's Seamus McCallion as acting half-back. Pendlebury had to reach for that one. Bob Grogan. Ian Wilkinson, who made such a good run early on. Such a very big, strong lad this. Notice that even Sorensen is having great difficulty getting him down. John Pendlebury trying to go on his own. Steve O'Neill took him down, ex-colleague of his at Wigan. Well, who's onside and who's offside? Well, Duncan Platt took it very well. Halifax stood back. Presumably they thought they were offside. Martin O'Fire's acting half-back. Turned inside there to Sorensen. Sorensen trying to get halfway through. Oh my goodness, the way he fell there, he could well be injured. He looked as though he's twisted there. We'll see what happens when he gets up. In the meantime, play goes on. It's Andy Currier ducking a couple of tackles. Gets Thacker away down the right wing with a beautiful pass. I just anxious that he's entitled to get up. Jinx out of tackles. I thought perhaps he could have got the ball away. But very dangerous indeed. And looking back to my right, Sorensen suffering from that tackle. I think it's a bit of knee trouble, but not too serious, I don't think. But the ball brought across here, and it's Mike O'Neill. Couldn't find the support he wanted in midfield. Mackenzie couldn't get to him quickly enough, but he's there to keep it on very urgently. Back flip there to Paul Hume. And I think the referee ruling that Halifax were offside. Free kick to Widnes. And David Hume screaming at someone, let Duncan Platt kick for goal. Fortunately for Widnes and for Sorensen, he's recovered from that tackle. It was just the way he twisted it in the final movement of the tackle that went down that I thought could have caused some possible injury. So can Duncan Platt convert this one? It's a straight kick. Yes. I was surprised at the lack of shout behind the goal to all. Maybe they're all Halifax supported behind there, but they were certainly very quiet behind the goal. As they could see, it was certainly going to sail between the posts. So with 25 minutes of the game gone, Widnes are now into a 12 points to 2 lead. And it's Andy Currier. And here we go again, Mackenzie nipping out of Tartar, looking as though they're on the rampage, and they'd love to get us out of fire away. But up to now, Halifax policing him very well, but when you do that, you could well leave gaps elsewhere. Now Widnes move the ball across the Hume brothers onto Mike O'Neill, running into a tackle. He let the ball go there, he wanted to pass it. It has gone forward. And the referee quite rightly ordering a scrum. And when somebody like Ian Wilkinson is coming in to crash tackle you, you're inclined to think twice about taking the ball. He must be one of the biggest centres in the game. Well, eventually the pack gets settled. It's eventually coming out to Halifax, I think. And it's Steve Robinson moving away with the ball onto Wilkinson. He had to come inside to take it. He tried to alter his path. He's got it away to Pendlebury, and Pendlebury runs straight into Mike O'Neill. So it's Dick Fairbank. Holliday, a move on here. Holliday tries to nip through himself. Robinson, Wilkinson. There, a move on. Whitfield had linked up. It looked as though Tony Anderson was there as well, with Mike Taylor on his outside, and the pass missed a lot of them. In, out. I'm not sure it went anywhere near the hooker, but it certainly came back from the scrum in one way or another, and the referee allowed it to go on. So Sorensen. Looked like a couple of bulls pushing their heads together there, and Fairbank and Sorensen. One minute. And although that the Halifax team can do this for 80 minutes, just going tackling 3 men at a time, I think Widnes are trying to draw them in. Mackenzie comes away onto Mike O'Neill, timbers up, can't get the ball away. The stumble just upset him there. So it's Brother Steve that puts a kick for touch, but it's too far. And it's a turnover. Halifax don't have to battle for possession in the scrum. They get it for nothing. And goes Fairbank. McCallion. Nella was ready for the pass. I think McCallion tried to use him as a decoy, but Widnes didn't buy it. That pass looked forward. There, certainly, whatever Les Holliday whichever move he had in mind, he was much too far off our field to use it at all. Now it's switched across this way to Grogan. Grogan meets Richard Ayres. So it's Halifax. Pendlebury trying to straighten up. Halfway through, looking for the support. It's there from Steve Robinson. A good last-ditch tackle there by Duncan Platt. Just stopped him 10 yards out. And here's the last tackle. It's a grubber kick through it, rebounded. Who's got it first? Steve O'Neill's there first. Well done by Steve O'Neill there, who very quickly after that blocked ball. Halifax again moving up very quickly indeed, but one crack in the defence could cause all kinds of problems. Sorensen wasn't in his stride then. He realised what the problems were, decided to hang on to the ball. So it's left to Duncan Platt. That could be a chase here. If Whitfield doesn't get across, take the ball cleanly. Andy Curry was almost there before him. Now it's Mick Taylor. And Phil McKenzie felt the effect of trying to ankle tap Taylor there as Holliday takes it on. There to support McCallion. Mick Taylor again. Useful ploy by Halifax, I feel, is bringing a lad like Mick Taylor into midfield play quite often. With his size, no use having him standing out on the wing forever doing nothing. A lad of that size. Well, loose ball eventually flicked out his way to Grogan. Grogan halfway through there. But to Paul Hume just held on. So it's Holliday this time putting him a kick. Now Duncan Platt can take this one. He takes it very cleanly. He was under some pressure there because I felt all the Halifax players were on side. So can Widnes move it across quickly enough? They'd love to. Sorensen comes through. A beautiful strong run by Sorensen. A lovely long ball out there to last minute ankle tap by Mick Taylor. Stopped the Widnes threat, but what a very powerful run that was by Sorensen. And if only he could have turned to his left when he first got through, one feels that he might well have got Martin O'Fire away. And Martin Meredith on the Halifax right wing must be dreading that occasion. We shall go back to the play, and it's Steve Robinson out with the ball for Halifax, met by David Hume. Holiday, Dixon, but the Halifax back not looking particularly well organised at the moment. It hangs it on there to Pendlebury. Pendlebury steps inside. And he wants to get the ball away quickly, but the support doesn't seem to be there. By the time the support comes, Widnes have wrapped their arms around it. So anyway, right across there, it's Grogan, it's big lad at stand-off half. Bouncing at one tackle, two tackle, but eventually David Marsh hangs on. Halifax lying very flat considering they are in possession. Here's the ploy, but it's kicked too far. I think it again, Duncan Platt lets it go. And he tackled over his own line, which means Widnes have to start with a dropout under their own post. Well, it would have seemed from here that Duncan Platt had an awful lot of time to take that ball. Had that been Steve Hampson of Wigan, I'm sure he'd have taken that ball on the run, really run into it and kept the action going. So, restart from the under his own post. Whitfield takes it comfortably. So it's Halifax attacking up the left. Dixon tearing in. And the Halifax, half the Halifax back don't seem interested at all. As Dick Fairbank makes a strong run, but the rest of his teammates are standing some way behind, not looking interested at all. Now it's Holliday on this way to Nella. Nella lets the ball away. He wanted to get shut of it. It was picked up by Grogan, and Grogan's going to hang on to it. I don't think he was thinking of any clever backflips there. Pendlebury, quick switch back to Robinson, who had come back in possession of that. And some high tackles going in there from Sorensen. One thought they might well have been penalised. I think Dixon's feeling the effect of it. John Pendlebury, lovely kick there, change direction. A beautiful try indeed that by John Pendlebury. And I think that justifies the remarks I made about John Pendlebury early in the game. It's a pity that his physique doesn't match his football brain, because there, if you were to see that in replay, you notice that John Pendlebury was originally going to his left. He just straightened up on his left foot, put a kick behind the Widnes defence from the outside of his right foot, which completely sent the Widnes defence the wrong way, and was after it very quickly indeed. It bounced for him very nicely for him, took it under the post to give Whitfield what should be a very simple conversion and really bring life back into this game. A very simple conversion for Whitfield, and 34 minutes of the game gone, and it's Widnes 12, Halifax 8. So, and Widnes looking at one time in reasonably good control of the game, still 4 points in the lead, but still know that at the moment they've got a battle on their hands. So it's Mick Taylor again, given the opportunity to run through and bouncing through a couple of tackles on there to Stevie Robinson. And the last tackle coming up, are we going to see a kick for touch or another up and under? Well, it's John Pendlebury, kick for touch, but he's not judged that quite well enough. It rolls dead and we start from the 25 line. And here go Widnes. I was talking about their quick start, and this is what they like. David Hume taking it on, look to get through a gap, hands it on there, and here's a try coming up for Martin O'Fire. That must be right. No, he turns it inside to Darren Wright. Well, again, earlier this game we mentioned that when Colin Whitfield caught the ball behind his own line, giving Halifax a tap from their own 25, there didn't seem to be any hurry to take advantage of the tap the way Widnes have done in recent matches. And I think that was a perfect example of the way Widnes really do like to take advantage of these things. And David Marsh it was who came through. I said I thought it was a certain try for Martin O'Fire. I thought they might have given Martin O'Fire the run. They wanted for the benefit of the crowd and to allow him to push up his try total. But they decided not. They were playing rugby. They wanted Darren Wright on the inside to go under the post as Duncan Platt converts. Well, I've seen other sides caught at that game by Widnes, but I thought perhaps Halifax should have done the homework on it and would have prevented Widnes from taking any real advantage of it. Widnes 18, Halifax 8, and some 3 minutes of the second half to go as Paul Hume takes the ball, hands on to Steve O'Neill. Steve O'Neill, such a good grafting forward, nothing spectacular about him. Ball comes out to Sorensen. Sorensen changes direction, plunging forward. He's really relishing this game. It almost seems that when somebody gets his dander up, he plays that much better. A long ball out for Mackenzie. That wasn't a knock on, as some people might have thought. It was played first of all with his boot. So Mackenzie decided to put a tight little kick in, but Mick Taylor was back covering it. And Whitfield's got to play the ball. He wasn't offside. I think he wondered at one time whether he was, and had to play it and hope for the best. And there the ball ripped away from Taylor. The referee ruling it's gone back to Taylor. So Halifax start from 1. Young Stevie Robinson, not finding any support from his colleagues there, had to decide to go on his own. Now it's Fairbank. Good strong run there from Dick Fairbank, one of the 5 footballing brothers. Halliday. The ball wasn't the harm, hadn't touched the ground. It's Ian Wilkinson. Danger for Widnes here. Can they surround Wilkinson enough? Gets out of another tackle there. Well, Duncan Platt just half halted him, but it's carried on to Stevie Robinson, going wide, turning inside, looking a little elusive at the moment, eventually held by Thackeray. That was a poor play, the ball, he just bounced it behind him, but it's John Pendlebury here. A little kick there for anyone to chase. taken very well indeed by David Marsh. And a fire coming wide. Love to get halfway through. Out of one tackle, out of another. But he can't fly over the top of them, whatever else he can do. Mackenzie. Cross there. Widnes move the ball very quickly indeed. Sorensen gets it away there very well indeed to Richard Ayres. Fortunate of Halifax, Sorensen couldn't get the ball away immediately. And it comes up the left this way, and there's a kick from Mackenzie. Whitfield, two Widnes players waiting for him. And it's bounced away, Mackenzie picks it up. Not quite quick enough to get away. Plays the ball to himself. Now he's quick enough. And what a way to finish the 40 minutes. But there can't be more than a few seconds to go. And nobody more worthy of scoring a try on this Widnes side than Phil Mackenzie. The hooker they brought from Rochdale Hornet, think he's still good enough to hold this place. Always good enough to hold this place in the pack. And my goodness, when you consider that's the main job they want him to do. What a player he is, when you also realise what he can do in the loose. Always after the ball, always ready to hand out short passes, long passes, kicks to touch, driving the sides back, and they're ready to pick up the pieces, play the ball to himself, and then go over under the post to give Duncan Platt another easy conversion, and begin to put Widnes somewhat out of Halifax's reach as they go in for half time with a score of Widnes 24, Halifax 8, and we still haven't seen a try from Martin O'Fire, and that is so unusual in these days of Widnes victories. Half time then here at Norton Park, Widnes 24, Halifax 8. And at half time here at Norton Park we have another presentation. This time it's a presentation of a decanter and the cut glass set to Martin O'Fire from the Supporters Association here at Widnes, and it's presented to him by Frank Myler. Now that's been done, given to Martin O'Fire to commemorate his record-breaking try spree over the season for Widnes, and it was Frank Myler whose record he broke. So I think it's a very nice gesture indeed that the Supporters Association should give make Martin O'Fire a presentation, let all the other spectators see it, not do it in the privacy of the dressing room or the club room, let all the other spectators see it, and let Frank Myler, who played so many games for Widnes, did so well, and up to this season had the club try scoring record of 34, let Frank make the presentation. So welcome to the second half here at Widnes, with Widnes leading by 24 points to 8. And what are we going to see from Halifax in this second half? Well, they say, well, look, let's have a go at these fellas and see just how many points we can get, give ourselves a real run out for next week. Or will they be saying, well, this is the last 40 minutes before Wembley, let's get through it as comfortably as we can. Well, we'll see. Widnes are no doubt hungry for more points. The referee checks with his lines, with his touch judges. The whistle goes and we go off for the second 40 minutes. Halifax first in, Dick Fairbank. Nella. Back to Whitfield. That was a diagonal kick, directional kick taken by Andy Courier. Ducks one tackle, gets out of it, almost through there. Now can Widnes move the ball across. David Hume jinking back, losing the ball, danger here. Holiday picks it up, it's gone backward, and David Hume was right. He wasn't in an offside position, he was right. I think Holiday tried to flick that ball back to his colleagues. As Widnes moved the ball across there quickly now, the Widnes crowd shouting, and Meredith trying to obstruct the fire, but he got him away. He's turned inside there to Darren Wright. Darren Wright saw that Meredith was on O'Fire's toes again, so he hung on to the ball, but O'Fire was being obstructed by Martin Meredith there. So Widnes moved the ball across to their right. David Hume couldn't take that clean, it went behind him. But I think touch judges and referees have got to watch this ploy of Martin O'Fire being obstructed. It's a bit frustrating eventually. Touch Dixon. Back there. James McCallion looking for the support of his colleagues. They just weren't there. Hoddy. Fairbank. Halifax working the short side, out to Wilkinson. Wilkinson found himself running back inside towards Dixon there, getting something of a mix-up. Reduced his impetus certainly. Whitfield, a directional kick. Thackeray covering it. Ball loose, and there, yes, Mike O'Neill, yards offside. Perhaps he decided better to play the ball and be offside, give Halifax a free kick and let the side get organised, than give Halifax the advantage of a free ball at the most unexpected time. Now in the opening minutes of this second half, can Halifax make this attack pay? Fairbank. Well, they'd taken half the Widnes back to hold him. Cross the line, a switch. Nella. Another switch again. Dixon. Back to Wilkinson. And perhaps Halifax could be more dangerous a little further from the line. Dixon flicked it back to across the line. It goes. Holiday, a long ball out there. Well taken by Colin Anderson. John Pendlebury, a long ball out there to Meredith. And Martin O'Fire, taking him over. No, the flag goes up. And again, another case, I think, of Martin O'Fire defying some of his critics who claim he can't tackle, because he showed a rare turn of pace there to turn round and catch Martin Meredith and put him into touch. Not many wingers in the game would have done that. So out to Widnes. And how these Widnes supporters would love to see O'Fire given a really good long run. Sorensen. Support on his inside from Paul Hume, but I don't think Sorensen saw him coming. Mike O'Neill. Duncan Platt with the clearing kick. And I'm sure Duncan Platt finds it much easier kicking that way than he did in the first half. Well, there's Mike Taylor stepping out of one tackle. Robinson. John Pendlebury straightening up, and he loved to have got the ball away to Keith Neller there, but Widnes wrapped him up completely. Fairbank. Again, you could fairly hear Fairbank shouting there, "Where on earth are you?" Bob Grogan, long ball out there. Wilkinson to Anderson. Anderson puts a kick intended to pressurise the Widnes defence, completely misjudged it, and the ball flew directly out of play. Well, the first 5 or 6 minutes of this second half, Halifax starting the way they started in the first half, exerting all the pressure on the Widnes defence. Maybe Widnes are deciding to soak up this early pressure, hoping to turn on their own pressure later. After all, it's Halifax that need the points, isn't it?
Come on, get on with it, Halifax!
Ironic shouts from the Halifax supporters who are left behind the post, satisfied that the referee has penalised David Hume for wrong feeding. I'm not sure how they could see whether a ball they're being fed correctly or not from the position they're in, but I suppose they're no different from many other keen supporters. Here goes Fairbank. He's got so near before. Certainly it's not for lack of effort. Keith Neller, one feels that wasn't judged very well, the way he had to leap for that. Quick play though, Robinson, a ball out here, somebody must be in. And a possible conversion from Whitfield coming up. Whitfield, whose goal kicking is sometimes brilliant and sometimes very poor. There it goes, he strolls into the ball. It's good enough up to now. So it's Widnes 24, Halifax 14. Widnes in something of a hurry. Perhaps that might jolt them out of any complacency they may have been getting into. Still 10 points of a cushion, but they won't have to give Halifax very many more chances. So it's Martin Meredith running the ball out there. And that pass certainly looked forward from here. No wonder the Widnes supporters were shouting about it. And Sorensen and Fairbank, I think it is. And quite right, as Seamus McCallion saying to Widnes players, look, keep out of it, don't get involved here. I don't quite know how that started. And we haven't got the advantage here of monitor replay. But if indeed, it was certainly Sorensen, if indeed it was Dick Fairbank, I think it's been something that's perhaps been brewing for some little while. And the touch judge reporting that Fairbank is the main culprit. He's awarded Widnes a free kick, but he's having word with Sorensen as well, perhaps having noticed that something like that was brewing, and saying now let's not have any more of it. And Halifax have taken off Steve Robinson and brought on Neil James. I thought Robinson got something of a knock and a tattle a little early on. It didn't look too bad, but somebody must have realised he wasn't quite fit, so they've taken him off cautionary, I suppose, for next week. Duncan Platt misses the attempted kick from, as a result of that caution on Dick Fairbank. So it's still Widnes 24, Halifax 14. And deep dropout from Whitfield. And again, Duncan Platt and David Marsh didn't seem quite to have decided who was going to take the ball. Mackenzie, lone ball out there to David Hume. That ball partly stopped. A fire after it, and a flash there, but Whitfield very, very bravely going down there and taking it beautifully indeed. That's Martin Meredith. Halliday. On to Neil James. Halliday again. No one coming up in the support he wanted quickly enough. Holiday. He's not had a lot of chance to use his ball distributing skills here. John Pendler would decide to put a kick towards the Widnes line, but it's a fire taking it, and it's quite a good ploy this from the Halifax point of view. If a fire is going to have the ball, let him have it with about 4 or 5 of your colleagues surrounding him. So it's Widnes moving up the left. Sorensen taking very quickly indeed, bouncing out of a tackle and out of another. Handing on there to David Hume. Look who's with him, it's Sorensen. Sorensen takes the pass, but the referee ruled the pass was forward. And again, I think he was quite right. But it would have been interesting if the pass hadn't been forward. Would Kurt Sorensen have made it? Well, I don't think the question would have been put because Martin O'Fire was with him. And John Pendlebury's gone to scrum half. I wondered what difference Halifax will make. It's Grogan cutting out there to Anderson quickly on here to Wilkinson. Wilking there to and Widnes snap on this. If that bounces right for Curry, and it just didn't. Perhaps should Martin Currier have tried to take Andy Curry take that ball with his hand? Well, he was trying to make the greatest use of the opportunity on the spur of the moment, and it just bounced awkwardly for him. But how quick Widnes are to seize on the mistakes of the opposition. John Pendlebury going around 360 degrees there, so that he can come round behind the Widnes back before he feeds the scrum, and all the advantage he wanted was lost because the scrum collapsed. Well, certainly coming out to Halifax. Pendlebury out there to Grogan. Grogan faced by David Hume and David Marsh. And again, one feels that you'd like to see Colin Whitfield get into the clear against his ex-townies. Switch here onto Dixon, coming through very strongly there, the support. McCallion, he's got Holiday with him, hands it on the Holiday, but he can't get it, and Sorensen's there, but he bounces out of that one. There's the support again from Pendlebury, back to Holiday, swinging it across. Are they going to get in too much of a tangle? Well, certainly there's all ball handling going on, but Widnes eventually get round to save the day. Can Halifax turn it on again? Long ball up there, one field, simple rugby here, must get them over, and it's Dixon straightening up, flicking a hopeful back pass, and if Martin O'Fire can keep this in, it could have been curtains again for Halifax. Unfortunately for Widnes and for Martin O'Fire himself, he just stepped into touch. What a good break that was by Halifax, and what good defence it was by Kurt Sorensen. So John Pendlebury feed the scrum, and surely that ball will just roll across the outside of the scrum. Grogan on this way to Anderson. Anderson to Wilkinson. He'll take on Curry, I feel, that's for sure. But Curry is equal to the task. Mick Taylor going for the corner. Gets out of one tackle, struggling to get in at the corner. Wilkinson acting halfback. Keith Neller. and certainly should Halifax score and convert again, he will put a different complexion on the game altogether. But some of them don't look interested at the moment, relying on Dick Fairbank. Can he get the ball over? The Halifax crowd is shouting yes, but the witness and the referee say no. Now, are Halifax too near the line? One feels they could be. Quick flip back this way, and it's Grogan. Dummy trying to go himself. Last tattle coming up. What have Halifax got left in the locker? Flicking it across this way. Long ball out there very quickly. Anderson's got to go on his own. Can he get in? Yes, he's in this time. And that very quick passing by Halifax certainly outstripped the Widnes defence. Well, for my part, I wouldn't have thought those Halifax tactics were going to pay off. They were so near the Widnes line that there was no way the referee could get Widnes back the requisite 5 yards. And I thought once Halifax started to move the ball across the line, they were doing it so quickly and with such great intent, there was a possibility of interception, but it didn't turn out that way. And in the event, they drew in Martin O'Fire, and Martin Meredith had oceans of room to go for the corner, fling himself over, bring the score. Widnes 24, Halifax 18. Well, there's the height, there's the direction, the Halifax crowd like it, and there's the shot. Well, Widnes 24-8 in the lead at half-time. Halifax, we thought, looking at Wembley and saying, let's get these 40 minutes over as easily as possible. And now look what we've got. 20 minutes now of this game gone in the second half. 20 minutes still to go. And it's Widnes 24, Halifax 20. And the Halifax crowd have come over here in good numbers today. Certainly in full voice now. Well, one wondered how often Halifax are going to restart this game at one stage. Certainly I didn't expect Widnes to be restarting the game as often as they have done up to now. And what's to come in the future, we'll just have to wait and see. And Neil James blockbusting his way through. Well, Halifax have got the tails up at the moment. Here's Keith Neller charging in, offloading to McCallion. There's Fairbank. And Widnes are going to have to look to their laurels at the moment. There's the kick behind the defence. It could be a good one. It's looking good. And the bounce favours Halifax. And so Widnes finding that they're being pressurised much more in this half up to now than they were in the first half. David Hume to feed. Whose ball? Widnes, I feel. And it comes this way onto Thackeray. Well, that looked like a bit of a hospital pass, one felt. David Hume into Duncan Platt. And the Widnes forwards not really into the game at the moment from the scrum break-up. Mackenzie now brings in Griemer. And I suspect Widnes have taken off Steve O'Neill as the ball's turned back inside to Sorensen, flicks it by this way to Andy Currier. Not a lot of threat at the moment. Rick Thackeray's got to turn back inside, struggling to get clear. Mackenzie putting a kick. It was... Well, Mike Taylor seemed to make a complete hash of that one. I think Widnes were very lucky to get away with that. Keith Neller had spotted the fact that it was likely to come. I think he read the Widnes intention very well before the ball was ever played, because he told Mick Taylor to get back in position quickly, and he harassed Phil Mackenzie when he tried to put the kick. The kick seemed to be so harmless. It was amazing it went into touch, and now John Pendlebury penalised for wrong feeding. So it's one each way at the moment as far as wrong feeding is concerned. And again, one wonders just what is wrong feeding in this game, the way some of the scrum feeding has been allowed to go on. And looking around at the Widnes forward, it is Steve O'Neill that's been taken off and Joe Griemer brought on. And so, can Widnes who've been struggling for the last quarter of an hour or so. Can they turn this? They rely an awful lot on Joe Greener coming in to take on the brunt of the attack. He's lost the ball, it's gone loose. The referee said it's fine, he was standing on top of it. Here's Neil James powering his way through. And the Halifax pack looking very strong at the moment. They moved the ball into a lone ball here to Wilkinson, who himself could be a second forward. Takes on both of the Widnes three quarters. Quick play the ball. In comes Keith Neller. Pushing with Mackenzie back. Mackenzie rips the ball away. Now Widnes must move the ball. Running doesn't mean anything here. It's Richard Ayres. There's such an awful gap on there. Ayres struggles through. And there's David Hume. Can he get over? Is he held? Yes, the referee said he can get over. They did put the ball down. But my, what hard work Widnes made of that. Once the ball was ripped loose by Phil Mackenzie, and Kurt Sorensen picked it up in midfield going to his left. They must have had 6 men to 2, and I felt the further they ran, the less the advantage was going to show. Really, I thought the ball should have been whipped out man to man as quickly as possible, let the ball do the work. And I'm certain if that had been the case, either Darren Wright or Andy Martin O'Fire would have found himself with something of a clear run along the left. He himself had to struggle over. I think Widnes made hard work of that. Can Duncan Platt convert this one? Yes, he does, and so that's something of a breathing space to Widnes brings their score to 30, Halifax 20, and I make it still quarter of an hour of this game to go. Well, that must be something of a blow for Halifax, because they were certainly back in this game with a vengeance. So John Pendlebury restarts. And it's young David Marsh this time. Mackenzie, Paul Hume. Back to Duncan Platt. There's the curling kick, but Whitfield with plenty of time to see it. Wilkinson. Holiday. And noticeably there's really no one coming with him. The forwards back there to start from scratch. Oh my goodness, that was a heck of a tackle from thump from Steve James. One that flattened one of the Widnes forwards. McCallion, Holiday. The kick to Chase. Fire takes it a second attempt, cleanly enough. A good tackle there, puts him down. Martin Meredith will be very pleased with that. That must be the job he was given when the switch swings right at the start. Such Widnes with a 10-point lead, but they can't sit back on it. Halifax have given them too much of a fright in this second half. Mike O'Neill. Well, his colleague couldn't be expected to get with him, because neither he nor they expected him to get out of those tackles. Mackenzie flicks it back to Greener, and Greener puts in a kick. Well, we haven't seen that from Joe Greener before, have we? And my, what a kick that was. Look at the ground he's gained. And Alan Tate is brought on. Can they get him away right away? Well, it's Darren Wright going this way by Mick Taylor, who come to close him in. We're just holding great hope for this lad from Scotland, Alan Tate. They're moving across to the left at the moment. Halifax moving up very quickly, looking dangerously near offside there. Sorensen spotted it, straightened up, flicked it on there to David Hume. He just upended. Phil McKenzie, who thinks he might go have a go on his own. Flicks it, tries an underhanded pass there to get Alan Tate in. Couldn't quite make it. The ball went adrift. But it was always on the cards that Doug Lawton would give this lad Alan Tate a run later in the game if they had something of a lead. Look how close the rival three quarters are to each other. The ball coming out to Widnes there, and even David Hume almost manages to drag himself over. Duncan Platt up in the line. Widnes moved the ball across very quickly. Halifax in very quickly. That was a good pass there. Flicked out there to Andy Curry. Andy Curry is strange up, gets the ball out to Darren Wright. Can Wright get over? Not quite. Tremendous pressure here from Widnes. Now can they get the ball across? It's flicked this way, and out there, and Martin O'Fire takes the ball. That's the try Widnes supporters wanted. That's the try Martin O'Fire wanted. And I must say, he worked quite hard to get that. And looking at it, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 Halifax players still on the floor after that very quick move. It was Martin O'Fire who was acting half-back at play the ball. He flicked it inside, and he followed the pass. They were there on hand, take any run around that came. The run around did come, and he was there. It was a low pass that came to him, but he took it very well indeed. And there was no stopping him going over for his 44th try of the season. I think it's his 42nd in Widnes colours to go. And now, as a result of Duncan Platt's conversion, have pushed themselves back to a 16 points lead as Halifax make a second substitution. They're taking off Seamus McCallion, and they're bringing on Graham Beavers. McCallion, who was injured in that Widnes attack. I think that's the reason they're taking him off. So, Andy Currier, little kick through, could be dangerous. We could get at it, it's still loose. Now it could be dangerous. Thackeray gets up, but there was no way he could keep the movement going. Quick play the ball. McKenzie, Sorensen. Widnes looking as though they really mean business. Paul Hume trying to make the half break. He able to keep the ball going. Michael Neil Sorensen will be halfway through a gap here. And he's through. He's got Andy Currier on his right. He's looking on his inside. Michael Neil it is, and he's dropped to Dolly. Well, who's to say that if he hadn't given it to Andy Currier on his right, Andy Currier might not have dropped it. Never expected Mike O'Neill dropping a ball like that. But he did. These things happen. And in Andy Currier and Thackeray on his right, and no wonder Rick Thackeray is holding his hands on his head and saying, my goodness, how did we miss that one? 36 points to 20 in the lead. John Pendlebury feeds the scrum. The referee's not satisfied with whatever happened. And Widnes penalised for getting down too quickly to collapse the scrum. Seven minutes of the game left as Colin Whitfield finds touch. And it's Mick Taylor taking it again, taking another weight. Beavers acting half-back. Holiday coming on very strongly indeed. He wanted his colleague with him. He could have got the ball away and the support that was coming, but it wasn't there. Pendlebury switched there onto Dixon. Dixon out of one tattle. Up to the 25 line. Oh dear, Mark O'Neill in danger of being penalised for that one. Whatever was happening there, I think he's claiming that the Halifax player Dixon was holding his jersey, but even if he was, there's no excuse for that kind of ill discipline. at any stage of the game, much less at this. I'm surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if Mike O'Neill hadn't been sin bin for an offence like that. But, however, he stays on the pitch. Colin Whitfield finds touch, and Halifax set up another attack. Well, they haven't much time left to pull these 16 points back. 6 minutes by my watch. And Graham Beavers says, who's ready to come in again? They're looking for Mick Taylor. And there's not another Halifax player going with him. Mick Taylor got a great over. Not quite. If he could have stretched, it looks from here as though he could have got over. In comes Fairbank, and Fairbank gets over. Well, with his bull-like runs at the line that he's made before, I suppose Dick Fairbank is entitled to score if, in fact, Halifax are going to score any tries like that at all. And David Hume just been selected as the Widnes man of the match. Is it good practice for Wembley next week? Strolls up, kicks, yes, there it goes, it's successful. And it's Widnes 30, Halifax, Widnes 36, I beg your pardon, Halifax 26. And this lad, Fairbank, when he's so near the line and so stronger charging in, amazing how strong he can be. I noticed, I think it's Paul Hume being, it isn't, it's a Widnes player being taken off on the far side as Martin Meredith takes the restart, just runs into the Widnes defence. Holiday, switch of play. On to Neil James. And here's the kick from Holiday. Duncan Platt takes it clean. The sun in his eyes, didn't let it bother him. Quick leather ball, it's Andy Currier. Tate. And the Widnes supporters would have to see this lad finish with a flourish. Just to see what speed he's got. He's certainly no slouch. Steve O'Neill back on for the injured David Hume. McKenzie there is acting half-back. Sorensen, a little kick through to chase, but it's too far. Three minutes to go. Widnes 10 points in the lead. Can either side finish with a flourish? And Pendleton in the scrum, out quickly to Holiday, and it's Colin Whitfield who's linked up. But met very well indeed there by Duncan Platt. So it's Halifax. Holiday, who's looked a much better player since he moved loose forward with John Pendlebury at scrum half when Halifax had to readjust. And I think loose forward is his best position. He looks a different player altogether. So Paul Hume goes to scrum half for Widnes, seeing that his brother David had been taken off. A lot packing a heck of a mess, isn't it? The referee really must get them sorted out. Down they go again. In, that's quickly out to Widnes on the far side. Possibilities here, but they couldn't get away, and on comes the Dutch judge again. That looked to be an illegal tattle by, I suspect it was Dick Fairbank. Or am I accusing him wrongly? No, in fact, it wasn't Dick Fairbank, perhaps it was Dixon. Paul Dixon, I think it was, that was guilty of that illegal and unnecessary tattle on Paul Hume. So 1 minute to go. Widnes in possession. Long ball out this way. Steve O'Neill misses out. Mike O'Neill misses out. Halifax defence are up. And Mike O'Neill very nearly lost that. He was tackled there by Neil James. And here it's Richard straightening up. Flicks the ball, it goes loose. It's to Halifax. It's Bob Grogan. On to Ian Wilkinson. Ian Wilkinson turns it inside to Mick Taylor. But the Widnes defence with a cross. And Andy Currier, I think, a little unnecessary in the tackle. A little bit of niggling up, I thought unnecessary. Halifax flicked the ball across and it sticks in the centre position and knocked down there. The referee said it didn't go forward. And there was Alan Tate that took a smack there. Perhaps he's not used to that in rugby union, but Sorensen went in. I thought Sorensen went in with the elbow there, or the forearm, and Tony Anderson's, I think, complaining quite rightly about that. Are we going to have a horrible finish here? Don't let's have anything untoward. The players seem to be trying to get something out of their Skinny. Yes, I thought this might happen. Terribly unfortunate. And I think the more sensible people on the field pulling players away rather than trying to get involved themselves. But I think one of the Halifax players was accused possibly of going in wrongly at Alan Tate. Certainly he seemed to suffer from the attention he received. Sorensen then seemed to try to take something out of the Halifax players by going in with what looked to me to be the elbow, which I thought was very wrong. And then it looked all hell let loose, and it's Paul Hume who is the one that's been accused of causing the trouble with a stiff arm, and it's a free kick to Halifax. Well, we're in the dying seconds. It's a pity that should have happened. We're in injury time as far as my watch is concerned. Maybe only one more tackle to go. Well, let's hope it's fair. It's Martin Meredith that's got to take a chance on it. Picked up and dumped. Well, it was a controlled dumping. And the home crowd may be jeering at that, but I've no doubt they wish they're glad they weren't in it. And Bill Les Holliday looked as though he was going to looking for trouble as I ran into it. And Sorensen penalised for a second tackle there, not letting him play the ball correctly. The game finishing on something of a sour note as Whitfield pushes Halifax a little bit nearer the Widnes line. And I still think there's only one or two tackles to go. Let's hope there's nothing much wrong with them. Dick Fairbank's got a charge. Give it me, I'll take them on. And he's almost going to get there. Well, the hooter still hasn't gone. Beavers, I think, is going to have to do this time. Beavers going for the line with a good leg tackle by Duncan Platt, stopped him, and there is the hooter. The referee hasn't heard it. The game is going on. The touch judge is on the pitch to tell him that the hooter has gone. And it may be to report one of the players, but whatever he said to the referee has blown for time. And the game finishes with Widnes in a 10-point lead. Widnes 6 tries, 6 goals, 36 points. Halifax 5 goals, 4 tries, 26 points. And if we can forget that last couple of minutes when things turned a little bit sour between different personalities on the field, we must say that it's been a very good game indeed. It's not been the runaway for the champions that one might have presumed it would be, with Halifax having their eyes on Wembley next week and their Challenge Cup final against Wigan. They've certainly given Widnes something to think about, although it did look at times as though Widnes could turn it on when they wanted. But if that was the case, it's a dangerous ploy to use. But whatever was the case, Widnes are through to the semi-finals of the Premiership. They will have another home game. We don't know quite who'll be against now, but it'll be a fortnight from now before they hope to reach Old Trafford for the finals. A fine game indeed then. Congratulations to both sides for the game they've given us. And the final score again, Widnes 36, Halifax 26. Immediately, and it comes up the left this way, and there's a kick from Mackenzie. Whitfield, 2 Widnes players waiting for him. And it's bounced away, Mackenzie picks it up. Not quite quick enough to get away. Plays the ball to himself. Now he's quick enough. And what a way to finish the 40 minutes, but there can't be more than a few seconds to go, and nobody